Hello, my name is Aubrey Thomas. This is my project from, I believe, my fourth semester at the University of Oklahoma. These are called the Greenleaf Lows Apartments. So let's get into the summary about this project. Greenleaf Lows connectivity from the nature from the courtyards to the gardens in the apartment building is to create an experience outside for people to enjoy. The building is broken up into two separate buildings and connects from the second floor to the fourth floor with glass skywalks as hallways, which gives people an outside feeling while they are inside. There are all different views of lighting, shadows, and open courtyards that allow you to experience a nature and a forest feel throughout. The second and the fourth floors provide community patios. Residents and visitors will have different experience throughout the entire site with provisions of safety and accessibility for everyone to enjoy their stay or visit. The objective of the project was to build an apartment building that was not only ADA accessible, but was functional, usable, and affordable for everyone who lived in a community and also who was visiting. Let's get into the project a little bit more. So, with this picture up here, with the front of the exterior of the building, this is off the main street. I wanted to be with a lot of greenery and a lot of open space. This is the back of the exterior, and as you can see, there's a few chairs and more greenery and pathways. This was to bring community. So these were affordable apartments, and this was for students or the general population who wanted to move here. I had a lot of community activity on this site. So within the interior where there is a community center for the children after school, as well as the backyard or the back of the exterior where people can interact with having a volleyball game, or it can be like a flea market outside where you put up tables and sell different things here, or you can just have any type of fun activity, baseball games in this area. Well, not typically baseball. I'll say probably like tennis or something. This was just supposed to be just an open activity. So you can set it up whatever event the apartments or the residents wanted to set up for that time of day when they wanted to throw something. And this is just a courtyard. So the main thing about the courtyard was even if you was inside of your apartment, you can look down and you can still see residents or people walking in and out of the apartment. So they're still interacting with other people. As on the first floor, you would typically have your leasing office. So people will interact there as well at the community center, the shelter, and it is also a grocery store. So the main objective with this was community. So this was already a social engaged project or design, if you might say. And I think it was very successful to hear because people had to interact with each other. If you was a stranger, you would have to interact in some type of way. And then up here, this was just a typical kitchen layout for affordable housing. So as we step into the second page, this is the process and self-analysis. Daylight and community were the key points to this project. Since their site is small, there were difficulties with the courtyard getting enough sunlight, but making adjustments throughout the design gave me a little leeway to create what I was looking for. So for this semester, I believe in Module 5, we learned about Francis Curry. So as he grew up, I don't think he wanted to be an architect at first, if I remember correctly. What I do remember is he wasn't raised with clean water. Actually, the community didn't have clean water, nor did they have the proper sunlight. So if you go back and watch his documentary, you will see that there were no sunlight, natural sunlight coming um, through the building, nor was there actual light. So it was very dark. Um, it wasn't the best conditions for students. He wasn't really raised in a wealthy family, so they did struggle a lot, and that led him to want to contribute and make better buildings and locations for his community. He wanted to give back. So I believe with my design, um, that did the same for me as well, because I wanted to build a public interest, a social engaged building. And that's what it have here. I think this building already has those attributes to it, and if anything, I would say would be probably, if I could change anything, would to be a bigger site, just because to do more um, activities on this site. Because if you see right here where the back of the building is, it's really not that big, but I made it big enough to have a lot of social engagement, and you can do a lot of things back here. So most of the material that was used was metal paneling, concrete, and wood construction that typically helps the environment. And so that helps as well within a community and socially. You have how the layouts of the apartments are set up, and everybody is pretty much tied in, and they share this corridor, as well as they're right next to each other. So again, you have that courtyard where you can see each other all the time, and then the exterior of the building, which is here, where you see each other all the time, and then the first floor, and that's where you have your grocery, the shelter, the community center, and the leasing office and the bathrooms. So, what also makes this a public interest design, or what I'll say already a public interest design, is not only the exterior of the building where it brings community together, but also it has a rain harvest to help the greenery around the site. So what's happening is the water that the people are using within the building, um, well, not technically within the building, but when it rains, um, the water will go on the roof into these into a internal drain, and then it will collect the water, and then it will come out of the sprinklers and spray and sprinkle, well, sprinkle spray, I wouldn't say that, but it will water um the garden or the trees that's around the site. And this is any surrounding buildings as well. It'll help. Um as well as we have public transportation. So the buses will come through here, and then they will drop off students after school, even people that do not live here. So, what I'm meaning is they could live up the street, right? You can walk here, and they will pick you up, and they will take you to, if we don't have what you need here at the grocery store, they do grocery store shop day, or the mall, or museum day, or whatever. The bus will come pick you up, and they will take you. All you need to do is just sign up. And that was very interesting in my project as well, because it just not only helped the apartments this apartment, but also the people who also needs transportation as well. And for this bus, it had um, a lot of places where they wanted to go, and they'll take a list. They'll listen to the community and then take a list and see where to go on certain days, and they'll just come and pick you up. Anybody could write it, and then also they had a drop off. It's a drop off where they drop off the students, or it's for food for the grocery store, etc. So with this project, I already believe I gave a social engagement and a public interest with this project, with all the stuff that I put within. With this project, I really focus on what the people would want, what would bring people to this site, what would help people. That's with rain harvesting, that's with providing um, places for kids, for students after school. Even if you was a dropout, it's somewhere to keep the students out the street. Norman, Oklahoma is not a bad area, but within this particular neighborhood, it wasn't the best neighborhood within Norman. It had a little bit more crime than typically Norman would have. So we also brought in a lot of street lighting as well, and you really can't see it. It's really on the building to help, because if you got light, it's crime is typically crime is during the day or night, but it will help because now that bright light is on you during that time of night. And last but not least was also a public interest, or as well as a social um community is I mean social engagement would be the balconies. So how I did the balconies was, there's on the building there are long balconies and then there are private balconies. There were balconies where you can go do like a little barbecue or have a little party, and they're right here, and anybody can come there. You want to do a little private get together or whatever, or for the whole apartment. Well, I wouldn't say whole apartment because you could fit there, but there were 4 floors, so you had 4 of these. You can come there and do whatever you pretty much want, a little hangout, a little study session outside, or you can do your private um, balcony, and then they were all close knit to each other. So you, like I said, you could still interact with people. So this was my project that I did my fourth semester at the University of Oklahoma. I believe that this project was already social engaged in a public interest. That's why I picked this project, and I hope you liked what I had to say about the project, and I hope you was very interested in this project as well. Thank you for a great semester and happy holidays. And that is it.